ഇപ്പോൾ സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ കാണുകയാണ്. അതിലേക്ക്
Don't worry, politicians won't keep you unemployed. For the next 1 year, your jobs are assured. So. Okay, let's begin. Thank you for coming. So, this is basically to brief you on the Central Committee meeting. You got the communique. The first point is the Central Committee reiterated what we decided in our last meeting, that there are 3 objectives with which the CPIM will work in this coming general elections. The first would be for the defeat of the BJP and its allies. The second, to strengthen the presence of the left in the parliament. And the third is to ensure that an alternative secular government at the centre is formed. So towards these objectives, we had earlier decided in our party congress, our electoral tactics will vary from state to state to achieve the common objective. And this variation would be because of different parties had commanded people's confidence in different manners in various states of the country. So our tactics would be to maximize the pooling of anti-BJP vote. That will be the objective through which we shall achieve these 3 tasks that we have set ourselves for. So accordingly, all the state committees have been asked and directed to work out the tactics in their states. And the way we are fighting and the left allies and our allies, whoever will emerge in the states, apart from that, the general call will be to defeat the BJP. We reviewed the recent assembly elections, but this is only a preliminary review. We are waiting for our state committees to conduct their review. On that basis, there will be a deeper review that will be done. The first point is there is a big setback for the BJP. These, particularly in these 3 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, the BJP suffered a big setback. Though in terms of the voting percentage, the difference is not much. But compared to the 2014 voting percentage, there is a very big drop or swing away from the BJP. That's more than nearly 13% in one place, 16 in another. So more than 10% on an average is a swing away from the BJP. And the main reason why this has happened is the people's discontent and anger at the burdens that are being imposed upon them. And this was evident in all the growing struggles that happened in the recent period. The farmers' agitations, the worker present coming together for the first time in a big way, and their marches in Delhi and their programs all over the country. The youth, which is under very tense future that they are facing because of complete lack of employment opportunities growing, in fact a decline in existing employment, and the general public in all sections. There is no section of Indian people that have been not adversely affected by the policies of this Modi government. So clearly the election results are an indicator that people expect from this change a shift in policies that will be a pro-people shift. So this is the expectation that the people have, and the new government have this task set out before them to meet these expectations and shift the policies in a direction that will benefit and provide relief to the people. Secondly, there was a very big effort to try and sharpen communal polarization to give electoral benefit in these elections. The UP Chief Minister addressed more public rallies than the Prime Minister himself, and that was a clear indication. And wherever he went for the public rallies, he threatened that he'll change the names in those states of the cities. Hyderabad, he said, will be declared Bhagyanagar. And likewise. But this effort at deepening communal polarization did not succeed the way the BJP RSS were hoping for. So this are the important lessons, I think, that are lessons for the opposition as well, that have to be learned. And we have decided that in all these states where new governments have been formed, that we shall continue and strengthen people's struggles to ensure that the promises made by these parties during elections are implemented and fulfilled. For that, the people's struggles will be strengthened. The economy is in very big crisis. There are reports that the fiscal deficit, target of the fiscal deficit for this year, have already been exceeded in the first 7 months. So to maintain the fiscal balance, number one, and number two, in the wake of these setbacks for the Modi government, in order to try and give some sops to the people before the general elections, they require extra resources for both these purposes, to maintain the fiscal target as well as to give out this electoral sops. Now this money they are trying to seek by eating into the reserve fund of the RBI. Now that is a very, very dangerous move. The resignation of the former governor of RBI, the appointment of the new governor and all that controversies that surround this appointment and the choice. He was the one who actually argued, not merely argued, he announced on behalf of the government, of the Modi government, that the index finger of people who go in for changing notes will be marked so that they cannot come back again to the Reserve Bank or to any bank to change the notes. After a big hue and cry, that, the Modi government had to withdraw that proposal. So this is a very serious crisis, because undermining the central bank of any country is extremely dangerous. It will create tremendous fiscal imbalances and will lead up to a very, very big crisis. The crisis will be further accentuated because when the central bank is vulnerable, international finance starts leaving that particular country. And the moment the FIIs, that is the... Secondly, please understand, and this government has to understand, the centrality of the Indian Constitution is the sovereignty of the people. Constitution begins with the words, we the people. People exercise that sovereignty through their elected representatives. The government is formed out of these elected representatives, and the government or the executive is accountable to the legislature, the legislators are accountable to the people. This is the constitutional scheme. By denying the accountability to the parliament, the government is actually breaking the vital constitutional link of accountability and people's sovereignty. So we think this is complete unidentified, and it's a very peculiar statement that the finance minister has made, saying that how can members of parliament, judge or review a judicial decision. It is elementary. That's why I'm very surprised that it should come from the finance minister. There are so many times in parliament, we have changed the law, amended the law in order to circumvent a Supreme Court judgment. This government did it as recently on the SCST Atrocities Act. So the parliament is supreme. That is why I said the centrality of our constitution is supreme, and therefore how the finance minister made this statement, and being a lawyer himself, for him to make this statement is very, very mysterious, and I think it's patently wrong. This parliament has the ultimate authority. For instance, you all will recollect the first amendment that was made to the parliament was bringing in the schedules. Why? Because fundamental right to property exists in the constitution. When Zamindari Abolition Act came, that was challenged, saying you're challenging my right to property. That's a fundamental right. How can you take away that right? So the schedule was brought in order to circumvent that particular right, saying that what all falls under the schedule, which is land reforms, that cannot be in the purview of the judiciary. So the parliament is always supreme. So this is a totally untenable statement of the finance minister and a stand that he has taken, and we think therefore the JPC is absolutely a must. And this links up directly with this entire question of this electoral bonds, because often the government charges the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister that there is no money trail, like there was a money trail in Bofors. There is no money trail as far as the Rafale deal is concerned. You will not find a money trail anymore, because the trail lies in the fact that whatever has to be given as commission will be through electoral bonds. Bonds will be given to the party concerned, and that's exactly what happened. The first tranche of the electoral bonds, 222 crores were earmarked, were sold as electoral bonds in the first tranche. Out of this 222 crores, the BJP got 210 crores. This is the money trial. And this is what proves the point that nearly 95% virtually. So this is the money trial. I mean, there cannot be anything more obvious than this. You are legalizing political corruption. And in addition to this, therefore we have demanded that a JPC is a must, and we will continue to press for that demand in both the houses of the parliament. The other issue is, of course, the deepening of communal polarization, and which we anticipate will sharpen as the elections draw closer. The Modi government is trying to adopt a strategy whereby sharpening communal polarization on the one hand, and on the other hand, giving sops to the people before the elections to get their support. This communal polarization has become all the more obvious in the recent past, and with the cries for not waiting for the Supreme Court verdict on Ayodhya, they are talking of bringing in an ordinance or a new legislation, etc. So this is in a way they are trying to consolidate the Hindutva communal vote bank. This is the worst vote bank politics that is being played in our country. And this is going to be very, very dangerous for the unity integrity of our country. The other area which is also posing very big dangers to our unity integrity is the developments in Jammu and Kashmir. The recent killing of 7 innocent civilians again is a pointer that the lives of Kashmiri people are not really taken and counted as lives of human beings by this government. In the last 3 years, more than 300 civilians have died in this sort of firing by the security forces. Not in one case has there been an inquiry, has anybody been held accountable or anybody held responsible. Fight against terrorists, yes, but when the killings of civilians come, and that is something that is not acceptable. This is deepening the alienation of the Kashmiri people, dangerous for our country's unity, integrity, for secularism, and it's very clear that the Modi government wants to keep the Kashmir issue boiling in order to aid its communal polarization programs for the rest of the country in the run-up to this election. So we are demanding that what they promised 4 years ago, Rajnath Singh, when he led the all-party delegation from the parliament to Kashmir, when he came back, we issued a communique where we said we'll start the political process of dialogue with all stakeholders. This has not happened so far. This has to be immediately taken up, otherwise the situation is extremely dangerous and will turn worse. So on the basis of this understanding, the Central Committee decided that we will further strengthen the struggles of the people, of the working people. The working class has given a call for an all India industrial strike on the 8th and 9th, a 2-day strike, on the 8th and 9th of January. So the party decided to extend its full support. The new education policy that is going to come and the attacks in education. On that in February, there's going to be a big unity of not only the students, teachers, employees of universities, colleges, but also of civil society organizations who are in this campaign. And there'll be a joint people's march to save education in our country. That the Central Committee will extend its full support. And on the question of unemployment, after the industrial strike, both our youth and these working class organizations will take joint initiatives to strengthen the struggle, demanding from the Prime Minister, where are the 2 crore jobs that he promised to create every year? That is 10 crores by now. Where are these jobs? And that on that we'll take the initiatives. And on the question of this growing attacks on women, issues of sexual harassment and sexual attacks, the brutal gang rapes and murder of young children. I mean, these are issues that have really chilled the whole nation. And on this, the CPIM will organize big campaigns all over the country and also demand from the Modi government to enact the Women's Reservation Bill, which he promised to do in the first session of the Parliament after he became the Prime Minister. Now this will go, last session is going to come soon. So at least now you enact your the Women's Reservation Bill and live up to your promise. And on these communal campaigns of the RSS BJP and the attacks on Dalits and Muslims, we decided that there should be a nationwide protest that will be conducted, as well as to conduct a campaign to expose the linkage between Modi government's crony capitalism, corruption and the electoral bonds. This is the linkage that will be there. That will also be part of our nationwide campaign. So apart from this, we issued a statement today welcoming that finally after 34 years, there has been some justice delivered in one of the cases of the 1984 riots against the Sikhs. And at the same time we said that the delivery of justice being delayed so long is unacceptable. And perpetrators of communal violence, whether it's 1984, whether it's 2002, all of them must be brought to book, and we entirely agree with one observation of the Honorable High Court of Delhi, where in the judgment they have said, I'll just read this out, I mean where they've included everything, where they have said the mass killings, there has been a familiar pattern of mass killings in Mumbai in 1993, in Gujarat in 2002, in Kandahar, Odisha in 2008, in Muzaffarnagar, UP in 2013, to name a few. Common to these mass crimes were the targeting of minorities and attacks spearheaded by the dominant political actors being facilitated by law enforcement agencies. The criminals responsible for the mass crimes have enjoyed political patronage and managed to evade prosecution and punishment. Bringing such criminals to justice poses a serious challenge to our legal system. As these appeals themselves demonstrate, decades pass by before they can be made answerable. This calls for strengthening the legal system. Neither crimes against humanity nor genocide is part of our domestic law of crime. This loophole needs to be addressed urgently." Unquote. We agree that this loophole needs to be addressed urgently. Justice delayed is justice denied, actually. And this is something that has to be corrected in our system. So that is what we have demanded by welcoming this judgment on on this, of the recent judgment on the 1984 rights by the Delhi High Court. Yes.
Stalin backing Rahul Gandhi the Prime Minister. How does the left see it?
I'm sorry?
MK Stalin backing Rahul Gandhi.
That's his opinion, yeah. Every one of us is entitled to our opinions.
What is your view, sir? What is your party stand?
We have always maintained and said, and we learned from our country's history, a formation that forms an alternative government at the center comes into existence only post-election at the center. The UPA was, the United Front was formed in 1996 post-election. The NDA was formed 1998 post-election, after when Mr. Vajpayee became the Prime Minister. The UPA in 2004 was formed post-election when Dr. Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister. So it is the nature of our country and our democracy that an All India formation will come into existence post-election. What will precede is the unity of secular forces that will be worked out at the state levels. These understandings and the agreements or electoral arrangements between the secular democratic party in order to defeat the BJP will be formed in all the states. It will take different shapes in different states. Like we in Bengal have said, defeat Modi to save India, defeat Trinamool to save Bengal. In Tamil Nadu we say defeat Modi to save India, defeat AIDMK to save Tamil Nadu. But the others will come together. In Uttar Pradesh the core will be the SP-BSP, around which the other forces will unite. In Bihar, the core would be the RJD and Mr. Lalu Yadav's party of influence, around which the secular left parties will, with whom they will make these arrangements. In Maharashtra, it will be the NCP Congress, around which it will be the other parties coming in. So this will vary from state to state. Post-election, we will decide the formation, and like it happened in 1996, post-election United Front came. Like it happened in 1998, post-election NDA came. Like it happened in 2004, post-election UPA came. Post-election in 2019, an alternative formation will come. And you will have an alternative secular government.
Sir, if a national level opposition is formed, would CPM be happy to be part with Mamata Banerjee in that?
Yeah, I just explained to you what we did. Same question. In Bengal, our slogan is defeat Modi, save India, defeat Trinamool, save Bengal. I just explained to you the same thing.
The national level.
At national level, I explained to you that will come only after the elections. Any other language you want me to talk to?
Sitaram is stable that in Lok Sabha today. What is your party stand on it? You told already.
We have said that should go for a further examination. There are many legal issues involved in it. Our party has always said that we are against the arbitrary and the instantaneous nature of application of triple talaq. We have all along opposed it. Therefore, the bill, when it comes in it is a bill, legislation is a serious business. There are many issues there which require proper attention.
Sir, do you think the state assembly results, they will have some bearing on the 2019 Lok Sabha elections?
Well, the Indian voter is very mature. He chooses between the state and the center when what are the objectives that he has. But this time around, many times they have been different. But this time around, the major reason for the BJP's defeat has been this growing discontent amongst the people, as a result of the policies of the BJP, both at the center and the states. That discontent is unlikely to vanish in the next 6 months. In fact, that is becoming worse. So that is going to impact on the general elections. And people's message is clear. They want to change.
In UP and Bihar, and you indicated the kind of formation possible. But what happened in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh? And we need some clarity. What exactly is the party line? What happened in Rajasthan or what happened in Chennai yesterday?
What happened in Rajasthan and Chennai?
Yeah, Chennai we saw the Chief Minister holding a sword with Rahul Gandhi. And in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh we saw the party fighting Congress.
The party fighting Congress, these are assembly elections. These are elections to the assembly. Party has said that we need to defeat Modi to save India today. And in the assembly elections also the primary objective was to defeat the BJP. So where we have said that where we have our bases, where we have our struggles, where we have our influence, in those places we'll contest. In the rest of the state, our call would be to defeat the BJP. And that is what we have said, and that's what openly we have practiced.
Sir, in your People's Democracy, the last issue, there was a very critical article about Congress and its soft Hindutva move. Now, my question is, why at one point you're criticizing Congress, why in Tamil Nadu you are in alliance with DMK, who's in alliance with Congress, in Maharashtra you're talking to NCP, who's again in alliance with Congress. So how do you, isn't this hypocrisy?
I mean, this is so obvious in politics. I mean, we were supporting the UPA government, UPA won, and we opposed them in many policies. We stopped them from doing many things then. We got them to do many things then, which they otherwise would not have done. So this is, I mean, the point is the choice that you have today, the country has. In that choice, Congress, yes, on that soft communalism or soft Hindutva that we have said, we have always been critical. We said it's not a communal party, but it compromises with communalism at times. That is the standard, definition.
Sir, this is a clarification, sir. Today the three CMs took oath. Was your party invited to the swearing in?
Yes, we were. I was invited, but I expressed my regret because of our Central Committee meetings and this preoccupations. And then we said we were unable to go. We wish them all, and we only want them to learn the lesson from the elections. The people are expecting now to deliver on the promises you made and to shift the policies in people's favor.
कमलनाथ का लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं आप पार्टी वाले कि क्यों बनाया गया मुख्यमंत्री
कौन?
कमलनाथ को सिख लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं और नानावती कमीशन में कोई रिप्यूटेड दायर हुआ है उसमें कमलनाथ को कहा गया।
ठीक है, वो उनकी राय है, वो रख रहे हैं, ये जनतंत्र है, मतलब वो राय रखिए, बिल्कुल। Invited, I mean, he only asked that have you been invited? मैं झूठ क्यों बोलूँ? I was not, मतलब बताया, मैं ये भी बता रहा हूँ कि भाई नहीं गया क्योंकि हमारी मीटिंग चल रही थी।
Jammu and Kashmir, the party seems to be having a nebulous stand here. Entire state there, the dominant question is when will the election be held? Because Umar Abdullah has also expressed apprehension that in view of BJP loss in the three states.
There is nothing nebulous about it. Our party is very clear.
There is no demand for election.
The president's rule governor's rule, according to the J&K constitution, lasts for 6 months. After that, we presume elections will be held. That will be the time when what they decide that for us to react. Otherwise, right now asking for election makes no sense because the governor's rule is there and that constitutionally is violated for 6 months.
There is no crime against women. Are you planning a permanent mechanism in the party organization to address such cases? Because what happened in Kerala, you had to suspend an MLA from the party for 6 months. And people are saying it's not sufficient, the action is not enough.
Well, you see, there are two questions that you have asked. One is about a mechanism within the party. We have a mechanism in the party. There is a mechanism here at the Central Committee, which is the Internal Complaints Committee, which is a committee that has been formed after the judicial verdict and the new law that the Parliament made. And in fact, Mrs. Maneka Gandhi's office has said that we are the only party that has actually got a functioning committee. At the time when she inquired from our party, there was actually, the committee was inquiring into one complaint. So, that we are very conscious of, we are very worried, and we are very aware, And we have already directed all our state committees, etc., wherever they have not been formed so far, to do so. But there are very few. So the mechanisms exist. As far as the Kerala issue is concerned, that it was, we have a procedure internal to the party also, apart from the mechanism according to law. And internal to the party, every such complaint is inquired into. There's an inquiry committee that is formed by the concerned committee, the concerned party committee. That inquiry committee goes through the complaint and the witness, all the other job what has to be done in an inquiry, and comes out with its report. On the basis of that report, action is taken. That is what happened in the Kerala case. The Kerala State Committee appointed a committee, inquiry committee. Inquiry committee gave its report. On that basis, the Kerala State Committee took a disciplinary action of suspension from primary membership of the party for 6 months. So that any decision of the lower committee in our party mechanism has to be ratified by the next higher committee. And the next higher committee, that is the central committee, ratified it yesterday. And the questions that you're raising about not sufficient, etc. Primary membership of the party suspension means he's no longer connected with the party. When the 6 months is over, depending on how the concerned person behaves during the 6 months, what is the track record, on that basis, the suspension period, whether that should be end or what should be done, will be taken by the concerned party at that point of time. But even if the suspension is revoked and his party membership is restored, it is not automatic that he'll go back to the positions he held in the party prior to the suspension.
But he remains a party MLA. You say he has nothing to do with the party now, that he is under suspension. But he is an MLA of the CPM.
Yes, he's elected by the people, not by the party.
Okay, but you gave him the
So you understand, I'm talking of my party.
He contested on a party ticket.
Whatever be the ticket, the people who elected him are people of Kerala or his constituency. So he will continue to remain an MLA. And he is suspended from our primary membership. After 6 months, how he behaves during this period, we'll see, and after that, we'll take the necessary decision.
But the main complaint is that the sexual assault portion of that complaint, that was not checked by the party properly.
I don't know. I didn't see the inquiry. I didn't see the inquiry committee report. Anyway, even if I see it.
You got 2 complaints from the.
Then how did you ratify the decision then?
On the basis of the report that is given to not the entire, on the basis of the findings of the report.
Even she has one complaint to you again, day before yesterday.
What complaint?
She was repeatedly saying, even in her earlier complaint which you have forwarded to the committee, she was saying that no action is being taken and the investigation is not serious. And she's saying this complaint and the report is not based as the complaint is being taken as a sexual assault complaint. But it is taken as something like.
You see, listen, there are complaints of sexual assault, there are legal laws in the country, there is legal structure in the country, there is a law enforcing authority in the country. When the complaint is raised within the party deals with it accordingly. The party is not the law enforcement authority. Party takes up the case according to the party's interest, and we think what happened was wrong, and therefore the suspension.
But the party is championing the rights of women. Do you think that a more proper message should have gone from the party on this case?
I think within the party,
senior leaders like B.S.
the party, the highest form of action in the party is the party membership. Suspension from party membership is got nothing to do with the party now. That is the highest form in the party as a disciplinary action.
But you are on record saying that the central committee which ratified the decision has not seen the report. Without seeing the report, how can you ratify it?
We go by the findings of the report.
That's what I am saying. Findings means that is subsequent to the report. Now, what is this?
Correct. On the basis of the findings, we ratify it. Seeing the full text of the report is what he was talking about, not you.
Yeah.
He was talking of the full
That's
text.
what I am asking you.
That is the full text of the report we have not seen. We have seen the findings that was given by the state committee to the central committee. On that basis, we have ratified.
not satisfied with this action, she can approach police.
You're saying that?
No, that's what you meant.
Well, how do you know what I meant? Go by what I say. Don't be extra clever by trying to know what I mean.
Do you think on this Sabrimala issue, you gave an opportunity for BJP also in the beginning by taking some fast changes?
What opportunity? The BJP is completely failed in its purpose. They wanted to instigate communal riots. They wanted to create law and order problems. Ultimately, they had to leave Sabrimala area and come to shift to Trivandrum. So their entire movement and their effort to try and create a South Indian Ayodhya movement, all that was completely foiled, and that has completely failed.
How can you compare Ayodhya with this Sabrimala issue?
I'm not comparing, they are comparing. They have given the statement saying that this is the Ayodhya of South India. It's their terminology. Okay? I don't know. Those details, just ask Kerala committee, they'll answer. I'm here, General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. So all your Kerala questions, please ask them. They'll answer all your questions. Okay, thank you.
Siddharam Yechury മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ കാണുകയായിരുന്നു. വർഗീയതയ്ക്കെതിരായ പ്രചരണ പരിപാടികളിൽ എല്ലാവരും പങ്കാളികളാകണമെന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒപ്പം തന്നെ ബിജെപി സർക്കാരുകൾക്ക് എതിരായ ജനവികാരമാണ് ഇക്കഴിഞ്ഞ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് ഫലത്തിലൂടെ പ്രതിഫലിച്ചതെന്നും അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ലോക്സഭാ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് ബിജെപിയുടെ പരാജയം ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തുകയാണ് ലക്ഷ്യമെന്നും അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നു. റഫേൽ ഇടപാടിനെക്കുറിച്ച് JPC അന്വേഷണം നടത്തണമെന്നും പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ കാണുകയായിരുന്നു. തത്സമയ ദൃശ്യങ്ങളാണ് കണ്ടത്.